Welcome back. I finally got my hair cut and it's throwback week, so I'm wearing my Davey Allison shirt. So let's get right to it this time. These are the fortune cookie results from Kansas. Not bad this time. We scored 113 points for 569th place in the NASCAR on Reddit League. I finally stepped in and just started making decisions on the garage driver. Like, nobody crashed out, but I sat there like, oh, surely Anthony Alfredo is the weakest of this team. Turns out he was not. Out of the 6 guys that we had on our roster, he was actually third best with a 23rd rank. We did have Brad Keselowski in second and William Byron in ninth, so they carried the team. Everybody else, not so great. But 113 points, which in our serious league with about 100 members, about 70, 80 active members, 113 would have been good enough for 66th. So, not bad. At least compared to how the start of the season went, not bad. Speaking of the serious team, we finished 8th. Kind of a middling race. I'm very happy to have walked away with 8th, considering how things were going. We had Kyle Busch, who won the race. Busch won the Bushy McBusch race on his birthday. So there you go. I'm sure all the black helicopters are circling right now. NASCAR is rigged. Anyway, Kyle Busch was the winner and ranked number 1. We had Brad Keselowski. So everybody in the top 10. I did make the correct garage decision this time. I thought Eric Jones was going to do pretty good. He was looking okay on Racing Reference, had some good stats, but just kind of in the back all day. Thankfully, we locked him out in our garage. We had our typical, 4 out of 5 drivers were good. One of them not so great was Joey Logano, ending up 19th in fantasy rank. And he still finished in 6th in fantasy rank, but we had our traditional late race calamity when Kyle Larson almost crashed on that late race restart. Did not crash, but still lost a lot of positions. So overall, in the lead, that 8th place finish has moved us up to 4th. We've been pretty high lately. We've been in the top 10. I don't remember if we've gone up to 4th or if we're like holding serve at 4th. But we are a little less than 200 points out of first place, so not bad there. And then my other team, the Fortune Cookies here, we have 1,023 points, which is still in last place if we compare to our 100-person league. But I do want to point out that my serious team is about 200 points out of first place. And the Fortune Cookies would be about 200 points out of making it beyond not last place. The current last place driver in 85th has 1250. So there you go. That is the recap. Let's set our team for the throwback race at Darlington. It's the Goodyear 400. This is the first time in history, apparently, that Goodyear has been the title sponsor for a race, which doesn't sound correct because Goodyear has been in NASCAR for so long, but I guess they've never needed it. I mean, they've been the tire for a very long time. Their name is out there. They've got the brand recognition. Just kind of weird to think that they've never actually sponsored a race before. Anyway, here we go. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Okie dokie. Let's see. Not a bad team. I think we'll keep it. With the first pick in the Fortune Cookie roster, it's the man with 1,000 nicknames, number 4, Kevin Harvick. Next pick, 43, Eric Jones. And this is the 3rd week in a row that Fortune Cookies have picked Eric Jones. Interesting. I thought about putting him on my real team, but I don't know. He's won the Southern 500 before, and he's got some pretty good stats, but after Kansas, I don't know how the 43 car is gonna do. I'm not super confident with the car. Anyway, next pick, number 3, Austin Dillon. Next one is 32, which I don't believe is anybody. No, okay. Gotta remember to count down, but we will move on. 37, Ryan Preece. Next pick, number 6, Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. And the final pick cycles back to 32, where you're going to count down, and that is going to be William Byron. So that's a pretty solid team we've got here. Alright, so there is the team, and I figure since it's throwback weekend, we'll do a very quick little review of our drivers' throwback paint schemes. First up is Kevin Harvick, who, at least as of recording this video, doesn't have a throwback revealed, which is kind of surprising. If Busch doesn't show up with a throwback, boo, first of all, get in the spirit of things. And second of all, that's very weird because Busch as a company has proven themselves to be willing to have some fun. They did the Millennial car, they accepted Bushy McBush Race as a real title sponsor for an event. So it's like, why wouldn't Busch have fun? It's very weird to me. Anyway, next up, Austin Dillon, who is doing a Fireball Roberts throwback. So very cool. I like it. They got the font right, which to me is a bonus. Like, to me, a good throwback, you don't have to have the correct sponsor, you don't have to have the correct number, you don't even have to have the correct number font. You just have to have the right colors and the right general shape of the paint scheme. And if you can do that, I will be satisfied as a fan of throwbacks. So there's Austin Dillon doing his Fireball Roberts throwback, so that's pretty good. Ryan Newman is supposed to be doing a, what's it called? 1976 Kohler Power SCCA. So it's an SCCA car, but in their Twitter video reveal, which, another tangent, video reveals suck. Just show me the picture. That's all I want. Just show me the picture of the car. Anyway, here's the car, I think. What they're throwing back to? I don't. But okay, look at this, and then I don't see it. I mean, the paint job is fine. If this was like a normal paint job, you'd be like, hey, cool, all right. But as a throwback, I don't get it. I don't see it at all. This is not a throwback. William Byron, oh, beautiful. One of the best in the field. It's Neil Bonnet in that 75 car. I love it. I love the this is becoming a theme for me lately. Painted roll cage, colored window net. Ah, beautiful. I don't think they're doing that for this car. That would be a really cool touch if they could do a red window net. Now, the other thing that's missing here, which is a very tiny detail that, like, it doesn't ruin the scheme for me, but I love Neil Bonnet's red, I guess, splitter. Is this the days before splitter? But I love the red part here, and not included in that part. But oh well, I love this scheme. It's great. Great throwback, William Byron. JTG, which is super weird. They are very hit and miss with throwbacks, especially this year. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., not good at all. They're claiming it's the Tide throwback, and it's not. It's blue. The Tide car is not blue, it's orange. But anyway, Ryan Preece, excellent throwback. Throwing it back to the truck series. This says it's Trent Owens' truck, which I believe them, sure. But I grew up playing NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. And so when I see this truck, the yellow with the red flames right in the middle, I think it's Rich Bickle is who I grew up with this truck as. But excellent throwback scheme. Really cool little detail here. Instead of flames, they just got the melted cheese going. So that's cute. I like that. Great detail. And then finally, Eric Jones. Oh, another beautiful one. Great job. Throwing it back to John Andretti with the STP scheme with the little yellow, and I love the yellow touch here. It really makes, for whatever reason, it makes the Dayglow orange or Dayglow red and STP Petty blue. It really makes it pop, having that little yellow right there. But so cool. And I love these throwback shirts too. Those are nice. Okay, and we'll quickly, and I do mean quickly this time because I'm not confident in any of these picks, go over my series team for Darlington. I've got Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, and William Byron. Tyler Reddick, I don't know, I've just kind of heard online people are saying he might be good this weekend, and kind of I got a gut feeling that maybe he will be, so I don't know. The rest of the guys are just kind of, man, I just need to save my picks. I've only got 5 left with Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin. Everybody else was like, alright, who haven't I used that's still pretty darn good? So, yeah. So that's it for the fortune cookies for our Kansas recap and Darlington selection. Not to add to an already kind of bloated video, I guess, I don't know how long it's gone. But I was up at Texas Motor Speedway this last weekend for the Indycar races, so let's talk about that really quickly. Yeah, the first race, it was a doubleheader, and the first race was rough. It was rough. Texas Motor Speedway has a lot of haters. Some of it warranted, some of it not. But yeah, this whole PJ1 thing, which I've never been a big fan of this traction compound. I've always felt like it was a band-aid for the cars in NASCAR, but now it's affecting other series. It's affecting IndyCar, because the IndyCars cannot run in the PJ1, and even if you clean it off, it stains the track surface darker, which makes it hotter, which means you cannot race up there. We saw it with James Hinchcliffe, and I think it was race 1. Yeah, it was race 1, where he was forced to enter real shallow because he was getting passed, which, hey, passing did happen. Not a lot of it in the first race, but it did happen. But he got passed on the outside going into the corner, so he was forced to make a shallow entry, and then he lost the air when the guy came down into the one groove, and so that made him understeer, and as soon as he hit that PJ1, around he went. So yeah, not great that he couldn't race up there. I blame part of the boring race on Scott Dixon, who, this is nothing against Scott Dixon himself. I like Scott Dixon, but man, it's just he put a beat down on everybody, not challenged the entire race. So yeah, that'll lead to a pretty boring race when the leader is not even challenged. Race 2, however, was looking to be more of the same until Jack Harvey, at first it looked like an engine blew up, but then it wasn't. It was like some sort of wheel bearing in his right rear. Same thing that happened to Colton Herta, apparently. But, anyway, Jack Harvey's car died so that race 2 could live. As soon as that happened and that particular caution came out, holy cow, the race blew up. Suddenly, you had multiple pit strategies. You had Scott Dixon getting challenged. We actually saw passes. If you saw Pato O'Ward the entire race, he was spectacular. He made passes on the outside in the PJ, well, almost in the PJ1. He had like half of his tires on one restart where he went around the outside. Pato was spectacular all day, running in the top 5. He was kind of up and down in the top 5, but it was really cool to watch his journey throughout the race. You actually had Graham Rahal came and took the lead, and then you had this like fuel mileage chess game, which I understand that fuel mileage races aren't necessarily the most exciting, but to me, like the boringness of that comes from the whole, you know, okay, well, we're just kind of not going to challenge each other and ride along. It's like, well, maybe we'll run out, maybe we won't. But what made this fuel mileage race interesting to me was it was, for a brief time, Dixon and Rahal traded the lead strategically, where it's like, all right, I'm gonna take the lead here, but maybe I'm gonna let you pass me so that I can draft off of you a little bit, and then I'm gonna try and take the lead back. And so that was cool. We actually got passing before the lead. Then we had pit strategy. Rahal and Dixon both came in on the same lap. I think Pato O'Ward came in 1 lap later, and he won the pit stop battle there. So I thought the undercut, I thought pitting earlier was going to be better, but it turns out no. Pato O'Ward got the lead on that. Caution came out immediately after that, and so Pato wasn't actually the leader because I think we were still cycling in green flag stops. So he had to go take the lead back from Joseph Newgarden over the closing like 50 laps or so. So yeah, as soon as Jack Harvey's car was out of the race and brought out that caution, it was a very exciting race. Even though it was still one groove, it was very exciting. Texas Motor Speedway is still capable of putting on a good show. Congrats to Pato, good for him, first career win. He's kind of the hometown guy. He's from Mexico, has lived in San Antonio for a little bit. So that's pretty cool for him to get his maiden victory at what amounts to his home track, at least until Coda comes back, and then that'll be a little closer to where he's from. But yeah, good for Pato. I had a great time. It was fun. Thanks for listening to me rant about that. Anyway, that's the end. See you in the next one. Bye.